Shauna Moore, Style Staging and Design here. I wanted to come on and share some of my gifts around office design. Noting that a lot of us are honored to and blessed to work from home these days, and that some of you may have a home office and some of you may be transforming your space to make that happen. So I wanted to come on and do some video series on various tools, tips, and basics for office design, how to set up for success. So this video is all about the basics. Really, how are you going to set your office space up to promote your best work space? So really, when we're talking about office design, whether you're working from an office or from your home, really you want to have some form, some fun, and some function. So form is a little bit trickier to do while we're all kind of stuck in our homes because really what it talks about is transforming the blueprint of your space. So mainly you're going to need time. It's going to be a renovation, so you're going to need some money. I'm not going to touch on that today because that's a whole other level. And really I want to get out skills and tools to the masses. So honoring that probably most of us are transforming a space in our home to work from if we don't already have a workspace. Or you may have a workspace that really could be feeding you and supporting you better. So I hope some of these tips are helpful for you and you take what you need. So in terms of function, this is super important. You want to have safety in your space as well as flow. So any space that you're spending time in you should be able to get in and out of your space with ease. You should be able to reach the items that you need with ease without having to move too many items to restrict your space or your movement. Not only is that for a safety component, but also so that you can fit all the things you need into your space, because I also want to honor that some of us have smaller spaces. And as we are more and more at home with our family members, space is getting smaller and more is needed. So trying to carve out that space in your home, there are some challenges involved with that for sure. So part of that I really wanted to talk about is the fun. So let's go back a minute. Before the fun, we want to make sure that our function and our safety are also feeding us. So part of the safety part that I almost missed out was the most important part when working for long hours with a laptop or when sitting for long hours, and that is ergonomics. So ergonomics is super duper important because really it's our physicality. How are we set up? Are we at the end of working however many hours we're working right now? Are we able to just kind of bounce into the next thing we're going to do, bounce into our personal lives and do the fun hobbies and things that we like to do? Or are we going to start feeling stiff-necked, our back is off, and just kind of out of sorts? Because that's not going to support us for the rest of the day or the next day. So ergonomics, really kind of the bare bones of ergonomics are right angles. So really when you're sitting, you want to have your feet flat on the floor, not like mine right now. Feet flat on the floor, knees at a right angle, comfortable chair, definitely straight back. You might want to have some lumbar support if you're working for long hours and you tend to be a lean forward type of person like I am. And also you want to have your arms at a right angle. So right angle to when you're touching the keyboard as well as your mouse. Your vision line should be at the top of your monitor. Now sometimes that can pose challenges as for people like myself, we work with laptops. And so you may not have a separate screen to be able to augment or change the lines and have that ergonomic piece for your eyesight or your eye line. One of the tips that I like to use is I have, what do you call those things? One of those, like a bed tray or like a TV tray that helps me kind of just get a little bit more height for my eye line in the monitor with my laptop. So then I would need also a separate keyboard in order to keep the right angle for my arms. So another trick with that, you could try boxes. You could also move at different times throughout the day to work in more of a sit to stand kind of area. So if you have a higher banquette or some tabletop that's a little bit higher, more like pub style or something a bit higher like that, you may be able to work from those spaces while standing, and that will help kind of ease your physicality as well throughout the day. I'm going to do a bunch more videos on Feng Shui and on tips and tricks to break up the day, when to take breaks, what to do, how to kind of break up your day while continuing to work, essentially. So yes, let's get to the fun. Every space that you spend time in should have fun and reflect who you are, support who you are. So I want to urge you to find those items. Also, you want to be careful about the items that you put in your space. We don't want to just be bringing items into our space and cluttering it, because that will then affect our ability to focus and work. So really, whenever you bring something into your space, you should be mindful of what that item is, what it does for you, and where you want to put it in your space. If you're not sure about energy flow and putting items in your space, Feng Shui kind of options, it is a service option that I do provide, so call me and I can help do that for you. If not, take these tricks and run with them. So in terms of fun, I always recommend that you have some introspection, like, why do I do this job? What is it I love about this job? What helps feed me to continue to do this job? What are my goals working forward in the future? Maybe I'm working towards a vacation. I could put a photo of that vacation or destination on my screensaver on my laptop, or maybe on the wall as a picture. Something to remind me. Maybe it's just a word. Inspired, success, whatever it is that speaks to you should be in your space. That's gonna, when you look up or you have those moments of reflection, that's gonna continue to feed into that great energy. So speaking of energy, without the flow and positive energy in your space, those 3 F's are not going to be supporting you. You can have the basics, but you need that positive flowing energy in every space in order to optimize who you are, your energy level, your regulation of your system, and then you're able to support yourself and others to the optimal. So how are we going to do that? Well, I am going to do a video on Feng Shui, as I mentioned, so that will really help, hopefully, you create more flow in energy in your space. But yes, being mindful about the items that you put in your space is also a very helpful tool and setting up for success. So there you have it. We've got form, function, fun, creating the space, bringing mindful items into it, really checking in with the energy. So checking in with your own energy before you go into this space, making sure that you are coming from a place of gratitude and appreciation versus, oh man, I gotta get on this computer, make these difficult calls, or make these, have these difficult conversations. I mean, that is just part of life. But I think when you're able to keep your positivity and your outlook, which for me, it's the attitude of gratitude, it really changes and shifts your energy so that you can start to see the silver linings in life. And I feel like we need that a lot right now. So I'm going to share with you this awesome tool of ergonomics and many, many more tips on this website. So please go check it out. There's so many more tips and ideas on there. So let me give you a little visual. These are the visuals that I got off that website. And the website is www.zapier, it's just down here at the bottom, zapier.com/blog/how-to, what does it say? Set up your desk. I wasn't sure if it was transform or what it was. So yes, please go check that out. Now, the one thing I will warn you about is that if you're anything like me, you would love to spend all day setting up this area and enjoying yourself and putting super cool, fun things in it. But then at some point you have to get to work. So be mindful of that, set up your space for success, enjoy your space, but also get to work. That's kind of the point. All right, I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you'll tune in to some of the other series, and take care. Do great work. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Bye. Thanks so much for joining me.